I love collectibles. Whether it be random trinkets or scraps of paper or animal skins or whatever, I love collectibles. Maybe that's why I love trophy hunting. Aren't trophies the ultimate collectible? Put that on a t-shirt. But this is not to say collectibles cannot go too far. There still has to be an upper limit to what is acceptable before all sanity and credibility goes out the window. Which brings us to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This game is an absolute beast, notorious for its high amount of collectibles, but in case you're not aware, the base game has, count them, 784 collectibles, all needed for completionist all the way. When it comes to the trophies, we have 51 to grab, almost half of which are related to collectibles in some way, with 18 dedicated to some form of shiny item or mystery activity. A daunting task to be sure, but not the task of a completionist.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Because there are also 8 DLCs, because Ubisoft, and that bumps the total number of trophies up to 93. As for collectibles, some sources go as high as 1200. I have to admit that I'm getting a little lightheaded thinking about this, but let's just get into it before I rethink any poor life decisions. Strap in, put the kettle on, because we're gonna be here a while. Our prologue sets us up as the playable character, a young child called Eivor, and we meet her father, and we already know that he is going to be dead very quickly. Yep, there he goes. Oh, and mother too. So as we're escaping, we get kissed, in quotation marks, on the neck by a wolf, before finishing that prologue and popping the very first trophy. Jumping ahead 17 years, we find Eivor is now an adult, and we learn the basic mechanics of the game before we escape an enemy camp. Oh, I can't stealth kill yet? Stun attack. Freeing the men, we sail back to camp and celebrate with a quiet brandy with the locals. Before too long, we meet Sigurd, Eivor's adopted brother and son of the king, who has just returned from the south with some familiar-looking friends. And a familiar-looking gift for us.
I like it.
Even though we have to train on dummies first, the Hidden Blade really wants to taste blood, so it only makes sense to take it out on a test run by raiding other people's homes. Burn the wagons. Burn the... Oh, I'm on fire! Oh, not in a good way. Stop, drop, and roll, you idiot! Oh, not again. Oh, in the water! Run to the ocean and put the fire out! Eventually I do what all humans have done since the dawn of time and avoid the fire, and we take the camp. Oh, we can assassinate now. Can I chain them? Nope. That stun block is pretty good once you get the hang of it. Teaming up with the forces of King Harold, we storm Kjotve's joint. He's the local warlord, the guy who killed Eivor's parents, and we get our first boss fight with him. The game loves boss fights or mini boss fights. It's just one of the many trends that this game follows. I should perhaps mention that I have not played an Assassin's Creed game since the Ezio trilogy, so I'm not really sure what mechanics are new to this franchise. Assassins fail, more like it. I was assuming that he would probably be the final boss, but he's dead now, so never mind. Taking his fortress, we've opened up half of the Norway map so we can finally start exploring the open world. Since there's such a massive amount to get through, I'm going to start chipping away at these now, which is just standard open world practice. There is no doubt that the devs knew that this would be a nightmare to anyone with rational thoughts, so they have graciously provided a legend and show map locations for everything right from the beginning. None of this buying maps bullshit, so hopefully that will make this ordeal far less time consuming. What is this big elk thing? Did I just knee that thing in the head? With the very first area rid of collectibles, we find that Styrbjorn, Eivor's adopted father, has decided to pledge himself to King Harold as a way to unite the clans.
What?
Eivor and Sigurd do not agree with this and decide to leave for a faraway land called England. You may have heard of it. I'm not exactly sure about the historical accuracy here. I'm sure the game takes liberties with history, but I don't think England has ever been this sunny. Upon landing, the very first thing we do is start a brawl, then immediately declare that exact land as a place to make our village. We quickly realise that we have no supplies for said village, which means it's time for another raid, so we sail upstream to sack a defenceless monastery. This is our very first English raid, and that is another trophy. Now is where the game really gets going, and we are left to our own devices on whether to explore the world or continue on with the story. Story-wise, Sigurd wants to unite the various areas under his rule, so he and Eivor set out to gather allies. That's the main plot, and most of these areas follow the same pattern. We come to an area and either help the current ruler with a problem so they will join us, or oust the current ruler so their successor will join us. This often culminates in us storming a castle or stronghold. I will be covering the interesting or relevant ones, but I will not be going beat for beat, because there is only so many times I can repeat myself. So, the first of many said story arcs has us travel to Leicestershire, where we meet up with some allies and do some light scouting. This is all towards kidnapping the king of the area, King Burgred, and then getting his main ally Leofrith to turn on him.
Your death will come, Danes. Your end was writ the moment you came for me. I have made damn sure of that. The Zealots will know your name soon enough. No matter where you are or how far you travel, they will hunt you down.
Once we get Burgred in our custody, he reveals that he has alerted and ordered the Zealots to hunt us down. These guys are the enemy soldiers of the Order of the Ancients, which I believe is the precursor to the Templars from previous games. Again, I have not played the franchise in a while, so I have no idea. We do have to hunt down and kill everyone of this order anyway for a trophy, but for the moment we have a bounty on our head from these guys, and that means they will start actively hunting me, which could be a bit of a problem because they are all well above my pay grade at this point. Luckily, this won't be too much of a problem, because when we do catch up with Leofrith, we let him know that Burgred skipped town without him. So he tells us where the bounty is being kept and we burn it.
He resigned the crown and fled to Rome. He's gone. There. That's the statue the Zealots use. Done. Nothing but smoke and ashes now. That should get those Zealots off my back.
This means I can fight the Zealots on my own terms at a later date when I'm a bit more powerful, rather than having them annoy the shit out of me the whole game. And this also ends the story arc for this area. Before moving on, I'm going to clean up all the collectibles of the area. My method is to do the story missions and then clean everything that I missed. That way I don't get too sick of doing the same thing over and over. Ha ha. And because this is early on, we get a number of trophy pops right from the get-go. I did the first Animus Anomaly. I did the first Standing Stone puzzle. And shortly after that, I completed 10 world events. This is part of the mystery branch of collectibles. Ha, I like that secondary axe throw, that's good. In this camp called Off Church, I did 10 stealthy kills in a row, the first and very last time I was ever so quiet. We get 1 horse assassination for equine attack. And I hired my first Joms Viking. I went with Jofrida the Strong Fist. Do you have an OnlyFans account? With a new king installed, Eivor reports back to Randvi at headquarters, giving her the rundown on how it all went, and then we can pledge to the next area, this one being Grantbridgeshire. Here, Eivor will go on a mission with each of Soma's people and hopefully deduce which of them is the traitor. I am far too impatient to think about it, and I just decide to accuse Gallon, and I don't think it makes much of a difference anyway. Whether it was him or not, this will lead us to go after Wigmund, who also happens to be part of the Order of Ancients. The good news is that a bunch of this order will be killed off as part of the storyline, which will help with our time management of these collectibles. And getting rid of him will close out another area and net us another story trophy. I have now been at this game for a little over 20 hours. I have completely cleared 3 areas, which puts me somewhere between 130 and 140 collectibles. This is the equivalent of having played an entirely separate game by now, and we are barely getting started. I also found and equipped 8 abilities, and I have upgraded my settlement to level 3. We're over to East Anglia next, and local King Oswald invites us over for dinner, but since it's still daytime, we have to wait until the evening. So while we wait, I will explain these collectibles. The legend of our map has the number of collectibles for each area split into 3 branches for wealth, mysteries, and artifacts. Wealth is for anything you use to upgrade Eivor with, so gold and other materials, but cleverly it also counts most armors, weapons, and the ability upgrade books. Sometimes you need to gather keys to unlock chests for an item, but they're always close by. The second branch are mysteries, and these are the closest things to mini side missions. They are very similar to Strangers Met in Rockstar games, and it's usually helping a random person out with a task or completing a tiny puzzle. Thankfully, none of these take longer than about 2 minutes to complete. They're very quick, so that helps. And the third branch is artifacts, and these are things like treasure maps, cosmetic items, or actual artifacts. These 3 branches encompass the 784 total collectibles together, which is a vast majority of them. This is the main goal that we are focusing on, filling out these 3 branches for every area, because this is where most of the collectibles come from. Oh look, it's finally evening. During dinner we learn that Oswald is to marry Voldis, who comes from a clan of warriors, and none of them really respect him since he's not really the violent type.
You are weak, sheep herder. Your Norse friend here can't change that. We are better off without a king.
Being a younger man, this eventually leads him to doing something stupid, like, say, challenging Ruud, the leader of the opposing clan, to a fight. It goes about as well as you would expect until he decides to do some scorched earth tactics and pitches them both off a tower together. And his heroic sacrifice earns him a lot of warrior points, so we gather an army to storm the last of Ruud's men at Berg Castle. As we breach the gates, we find that both Ruud and Oswald are still alive, but we quickly make short work of Ruud and his rabid wolf.
Oswald of Elmenham, first of his name, the rightful king of East Anglia, with his lady Valdis, soul, fist, and beauty of this land.
To celebrate taking another castle, we cap the day off with classic wedding activities like drunken archery,
Ruud to his knees and let Oswald hold him for trial. I could hardly believe my ears either.
Yes, that's it. As with everything, an easy task for the wolf-kissed.
Get you to solid ground.
getting your drunk ass made off the roof,
In such a strange way.
You're very strong.
and forgetting the name of the guy you just shagged. Wait. Brother.
I will too, brother.
The sagas are never
Oh.
this good.
Oh, I'm glad I got that one right. The cleanup for this area was the first time I had trouble with any of the collectibles. The power level is suggested at 55 and I am over double that, so you'd think there wouldn't be much of a struggle. Imagine my surprise when I come across a witch who is power level 340.
You will join my...
Oh, my attack does shit all damage. She's a one-shot. Okay. In fact, between the witches, legendary animals, lost Drenga, and the zealots all being way OP, it feels like I've suddenly stumbled into a Souls-like game. Whatever, I'll just end game them and we'll see who laughs last. Even worse than all of those, however, are these stupid rock stacking puzzles. I want the name of whoever thought this was worth doing. I just want a name.
I just want to talk to him.
Because this may just be the very worst minigame mechanic I have ever encountered. This one's not too bad, but they get worse from here. And they won't even let me kick them over at the end. After all that effort, I just want to kick the fucking thing off the cliff. Heading back home, Eivor confides with the local seer about visions she's been having concerning Odin. Valka whips up a batch of her special juice, and when Eivor necks that down, we wake up as a whole new character in a whole new area. This is Harvey, also known as Odin. They make a big deal about distinctly not calling him Odin, even though he is Odin and he leads the Asgardians. And this isn't just some epic acid trip side quest either. This starts a whole new arc with a whole new area, including more collectibles. And this is really the first time the game feels like it's padding itself out. No part of this story regarding Harvey relates to Eivor in any way, unless you squint real hard. Although I do marvel at the inception factor of it all. Here you are watching me play this game as Layla. Oh, yeah, in case you've never played an Assassin's Creed game before, we are technically playing as another person witnessing Eivor's life in the Animus. So yes, watching me play as Layla in the Animus as Eivor, having an ayahuasca dream about being Harvey. I can even go one level down and have Harvey warg into his crow. Anyways, Harvey is having visions of wolves so much that he has outlawed them, and is also dealing with the fact that someone has allowed frost giants into Asgard, and of course it's Loki because, duh, of course it's Loki, there's only one story in all of Norse mythology. It's a very linear area, we travel the place, we get all the collectibles, and we end with Harvey travelling to Jotunheim, which means there's going to be more of this. Yay. Back as Eivor again, it's time to get the story back on track. We speak with Hytham, one of the assassins Sigurd brought back with him, who is concerned about the Order's foothold in London. Luckily, London is a short horse ride from Ravensthorpe, although all of my knowledge of England's geography does come from this game.
No. No, no, no.
It took 3 arrows to kill him. The next 12 were an insult.
We arrive a bit late and find the Governor of London is having a bad day, so we help the 2 sheriffs to hunt down those responsible, leaning more into the investigation side of Eivor's talents rather than just the fighting.
A barber surgeon's tools, sharp and precise for easy butchery. Must have been what was used to free Trigger's head from his neck.
What we learn is that there are 3 Order members involved in the killing: the Arrow, the Leech, and the Compass. By some fortuitous circumstance, these 3 are all on our hit list, and I waste no time getting rid of them. I don't even bother being subtle about it anymore. Eivor is technically not an assassin, she's just really good at killing people, whether it be silent or loud, and there is 0 consequence to killing targets loudly. So bumping off the Arrow and Leech spurs the Compass to just set the whole town on fire, but once he is dealt with, that will close out the London arc. Checking the scoreboard, I am now sitting at around 230 collectibles, which is putting us up there with other notable collectathons like the Arkham and GTA franchises. And we're still not even halfway through the game. Speaking of not even halfway through the story, we haven't seen Sigurd in a while. He has ostensibly been doing the same thing as Eivor, going off to make alliances. So we travel over to Oxfordshire to meet up with him and Basim, and he seems quite chuffed that he's almost managed to forge a single alliance with some nobody.
We have made strides towards an alliance, in fact.
Dude, I've done about 5 shires by now. What's been keeping you?
Heard of him.
So while Sigurd has been doing his own thing, it seems that Basim has started filling his head with ideas about higher powers and greatness. And Sigurd has seemingly swallowed this whole, like he has not questioned it at all, and this leads him to search for a woman called Fulke.
Trust me, Eivor. Fulke is of great importance. You'll soon understand.
Now she has a reputation with the locals of being mad, being a heretic, being a scholar and or archaeologist of sorts, but Sigurd and Basim want what she knows and don't consider that freeing her from jail will backfire in any way at all. Specifically, Sigurd wants an item that will prove he is a god or descended from one, and he thinks that that's what Fulke has.
True nature. You said this was about victory.
Tell him he's dreaming.
Long?
Upon learning that the proof has been stolen from Fulke, Sigurd basically wants to trade for it and doesn't care who he betrays to get it. When Eivor questions his bullshit, he does that jerk thing by trying to make her the bad guy for seeing reason, so he's not exactly making it easy to like him. Yeah, good.
You move with the wrath of Odin, but you do not have his wisdom.
After taking Chinnabel Castle, King Alfred turns up, and Sigurd wants to parley with him. Now it really looks like he is about to throw Eivor under the bus by giving her over to the enemy.
My best warrior for yours to prove peace.
But when Fulke reveals that she was working for the king the whole time, Sigurd gives himself over.
I'll gift myself to you.
I wasn't expecting this, but it does give a convenient excuse to remove him from the story for the time being, and gives Eivor something to do in future missions. For now, that closes another arc, and during cleanup, the only other thing I popped was destroying a 10th cursed artifact for Dreamcatcher. The next story arc does not follow up on Sigurd just yet, instead sending us over to Skropje. This sees the return of Ceolbert and Ivar from a previous arc. If it weren't for Ivar's distinctive look, I would have forgotten who these people were by now. It's been close to 40 hours, so this is like reintroducing characters in Season 5 who appeared in the very first episode. That aside, this arc is probably my favourite. To set the scene, we are trying to negotiate a peace with King Rodri by installing Ceolbert as ruler of the area. However, Rodri and Ivar are long-term enemies. It's Rodri who is responsible for Ivar's distinctive facial scars, and Ivar is currently holding Rodri's brother captive. Not necessarily for ransom. So there is a big meeting organised at a church to finalise a deal with everyone. Bishop Deolaf suggests that Eivor should grease up those gathered with a cheeky little bribe.
I have a hefty sum of silver. Speak to the people here. If the silver will help one bring us toward peace, offer it to them.
Now, Rodri and Ivar are both far too egotistical to take bribes, so I decide to bribe the brother to overthrow King Rodri and take his place.
If you speak true, I would make that bargain gladly.
And just when you think all is going as planned, Ivar proves that he is not a diplomat and straight up murders the brother in front of everybody. Dude, that cost me money in bribes. Can I take it back? I can! Never mind. With the idea of replacing Rodri now gone, he has escaped to his castle, so the next few missions, we just need to break his supply lines. While doing this, I got my first mastery point at level 200. While we're waiting for Rodri to come to us with a ceasefire, Ceolbert has gone missing while on a boar hunt by himself for some reason. We track him down in a wolf den, having been stabbed by one of Rodri's men. I legitimately did not see this one coming, and there is no doubt that we will no longer be waiting for a ceasefire, especially with Eivor baying for blood. Fighting through Corsto Castle, Rodri has the upper hand on Ivar until he underestimates how nuts Ivar is. Is that armor fireproof? It doesn't look fireproof. But Ivar doesn't kill him outright. Rather, he wants to give him a blood eagle. Maybe Google what a blood eagle is. I don't think I'm allowed to show that on YouTube. With his enemy beaten and humiliated, Ivar wants one last fight with Eivor, and he reveals that he's the one who stabbed Ceolbert.
Poor Ceolbert. He barely said a word.
You scumbag! You set me up! You fuck!
Just a soft little squeal. And nothing.
So because of that, we're going to give him the warrior's death that he so desperately desires. And this is why I like this part. By now the game was showing signs of repetition and a lot of sameness, and this arc was a change from that because several things happened that I just didn't really expect. Sadly, the story does not get much better from here, and again, I am still not quite at the halfway point yet. Before moving on to the next story area, I decided to go for the trophy Over Design 2. This requires a few specifics to achieve, and it is best to grab it now before I get too overpowered, because I need to find some enemies that are significantly stronger than me, and I've hit level 200 at this point. So I'm going to travel to an area where I am way underpowered, and what I need to do is kill 3 enemies without breaking their shields while I am on fire. It sounds ridiculous, but it is much easier than I thought. So I just climb up on this roof, set it on fire, and as I'm dancing in the flames, I just caught their spears and threw them back at them. Very easy. Basim has finally tracked down a lead on Fulke, so we're going to meet up with him in Kent, not Cent. Stupid English fucking language. Long story short, Fulke tracks us down and sincerely believes that Sigurd is a deity or something of the sort.
Sigurd is something else. Sigurd has been touched. He is deified. The gods, they speak through him.
She sends her goons to kill us, but we escape from them and head to her castle, where we find what's left of Sigurd.
What's this?
Eivor! What is it?
There's no sign of Fulke, but we know where she'll be, and there's still hope that Sigurd lives as well. Or too soon trophy. Before we report back to Ravensthorpe, I did the traditional assassin trick of sneaking past some guards disguised in a group of monks for another trophy. And before moving on with the story path, I went back to Volka and taste tested some more of her potions to send me back to Asgard as Harvey. This picks up where we left off, by us arriving in Jotunheim as Harvey. Again, another new area with more collectibles, and again, mostly quests that involve fetching things. Eventually we come to beat up Loki again, and we sacrifice an eye in the process. This is all in order to help bind Fenrir, the giant wolf that Harvey thinks will kill him. And you know, the last time we saw Fenrir, I mean, he was pretty average wolf-sized. When we return to Asgard, we find that Fenrir has grown somewhat since we caught him, and now actually does look like someone who could kill Harvey.
Here you die. Deceiver.
And he absolutely does try and kill us because he's not too interested in being tied up. Like, my damage does nothing. There's so much health in the area. He's really easy to dodge. This is not a very well done boss fight. This should have been better. But with both of Harvey's arcs completed, that will unlock another trophy, and hopefully now we can get on with the actual fucking story. We've tracked Fulke to Sussex, and we've smashed her resources, we've gathered our allies. Let's see if we can get Sigurd back. And we're storming another castle. See repetition as mentioned earlier.
Brother, I'm here for you. I have you.
We find Sigurd still alive, minus an arm, but Fulke is running.
Nobody touch her. She is mine. And you will go with me to the grave.
Outside, she starts improvising weapons. That is not a practical weapon. A grave cross? Really? Well, Sigurd can walk. He's in better condition than I thought he was. Even though we've taken her castle, we still have to hold back the Saxons, but we do this and we close out another arc. And we can finally head back home and check out how Sigurd is doing.
Sigurd Jarl, back where you belong. I missed you, my brother.
Yeah, you missed me. Once or twice, I hear.
What?
You took your time to find me.
Yeah, I was busy getting collectibles. I have nearly 500 now.
Enjoy your time on my throne.
I did only what you asked of me.
I know who I am. I know my destiny. And you will not hinder me.
Yeah, so jerk as he may be, his ordeal has clearly snapped something in his mind, and he believes exactly what Fulke was telling him. Even after calming him down, he's still got delusions of grandeur, but we'll leave him for the moment and we'll see what happens later. Somewhere in all of that, I hit level 280 for a trophy, and fully maxed out a piece of gear for another trophy. And as mentioned, I have crossed about 500 collectibles, which is well over halfway through the base game items. I am making good progress. I am still enjoying the collecting and exploring, What is apparent now is what I feared earlier, in that the story doesn't know what to do now. Case in point, it will be another 20 hours before we see Sigurd again and continue with the main story. This is, again, the equivalent of an entire game before we take another step forwards. So the following arcs of Gloucestershire, Lincolnshire, Essex, Nottinghamshire, really? And Irvingshire go nowhere. They are irrelevant to the overall story. If I could skip them, I would have. We have Jorvik and Winchester, which are smaller city-states, whose arcs are just about rooting out more members of the Order of Ancients, which is fine, because that's one of our goals, and doing so at Winchester earns us another trophy. But that is half of the game that spins its wheels. We meet new people, some good, some bad, but we've already done that 100 times already. So I can't think of anything interesting that happened in the next 5 to 7 arcs that is worth mentioning. Oh, I did ride my horse through 3 kilometers of water to get the seahorse trophy. Not even the trophies want anything to do with this part of the game. So, yeah, this is what breaks the game, not the amount of collectibles. Let that one sink in. Let's see if we can get some closure to this story before the heat death of the universe. Alright, Sigurd wants to return to Norway, so I guess we'll pack up the boat and set sail. Why did we leave Norway again? I can't even remember that long ago. Sigurd has 2 reasons for coming back to Norway. 1, he wants to give his father a piece of his mind, and 2, he wants to find whatever he thinks will ascend him to godhood, maybe? Despite his insane ramblings, he does seem to know where to go, and we enter into an ancient temple.
Sigurd!
Oh, it's an animus.
We are proud to serve you,
What are we doing? Everyone's here. Yes, so we have been forcibly jacked into the Valhalla app of the Matrix. Eivor recognizes it for what it is, but Sigurd is more than happy to live out Groundhog Day. Convincing him to leave is easier than I thought, but Odin is the one that doesn't want us to leave. So this whole game, Eivor has been visited by visions of Odin, usually after killing somebody. It is unclear to me if they are visions or memories or whatever, that puzzle has yet to be solved, but for some reason he wants us to stay in the machine. And this means fighting him in the mind, kind of. I can't do damage to him, so we'll run away. Oh, I can't run away either, okay. Am I supposed to die? Nope. Do I fight by not fighting? Is that what I have to do? Oh, unequip the axe. Yeah. I don't know if this is the real Odin or not, but we turn our back on him and that gets us out of the Animus. Only to find that Basim has followed us and is holding Sigurd at knife point. What the hell is going on? Why? What? I don't understand. Look, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't really like Basim, but there has been no indication of this at all. I want to think that I have missed something crucial, but I am also pretty confident the game is saying, haha loser, if you want to understand, buy the next game. And I'm not doing that. What I am going to do is forcibly imprison Basim in the ancient Animus, and that should be the last we will ever see of him. And with all of that over, Sigurd pulls his head in a little bit and we head back to England. We have one last arc and area to clean out, that of Hamptonshire. The idea is to finally round up our allies and take down King Alfred. He's kind of the big dick of Wessex. We've been dealing with smaller ones mostly. I'm not really up on my 8th century English royalty knowledge, so don't quote me on that. Anyways, we've come to get him, but he's already bogged off to wherever and left his right-hand man, Goodwin, in charge. As for final story bosses of the game, it's not much. In the final battle, some of our allies die. I don't remember who you are, I'm sure it is very tragic. But with that battle being won, that is the final story arc complete and all areas of England under our control. And with the end of the story comes the closure of several of the collectibles branches. Finishing up Hamptonshire gets me all the Animus clips. There is a dice minigame called Orlog, because there's always a fucking minigame in every game these days, and we have to win one match against all 19 different players around the map. So in Hamptonshire I beat the last one to become the Orlog champion. Also at the main villages we can find people to do slam poetry with. No, seriously. This is called flighting, and all of those done makes me a slam master. Back at Ravensthorpe, we have some housekeeping to do around the grounds. Returning all the found Roman masks to Octavian makes me an archaeologist. Apparently I caught a firefly somewhere in my travels and will release that at camp. We need to place a cosmetic item in every location around camp, which is at these dragon head things. I placed mostly wells because I have no imagination. And finally, we need to upgrade all the buildings to get us to level 6. The fowl farm was the one that tipped me over the edge. Down by the river, all the animals are going nuts for some reason, so we check out the problem and we find the first Tomb of the Fallen. And after exploring that, we will unlock the very first DLC trophy. So after all of that, I am almost 100 hours deep. I have completed the story and several collectible branches. I've definitely picked up over 700 things. Now I could continue on with the collectibles, but instead I'm going to continue Eivor's story and visit Ireland for the first DLC, Wrath of the Druids. Ireland is mostly just the usual, sucking up to the local rulers and grabbing everything that's not nailed down. Our main focus comes after one of the kings is poisoned and Eivor's cousin Barad is implicated in it. This leads us to tracking down the Children of Danu, which is a cult of druids and is much the same as the Order of Ancients in that we will need to track them all down and face their wrath. Hence the title Wrath of the Druids. With the help of Kiara, we interrupt a druidic ritual involving fart clouds and battle their pet werewolf, and we get the antidote to save King Flan and his men. I've fought bigger than you, get stuffed. After taking another castle and some kings with it, we learn that the druids are being led by Abbot Owen, but Flan can't accept that a holy man can be the villain. It's not until Owen attacks the poorly named village of Clogger and the death of Barad for Flan to come around. Clogger? No plumbers in this town, I'll bet. And yet again we attack a stronghold where the final boss resides. Who'd have thought that these priests would put up such a fight? Anyways, Flan now rules as the king of the other kings, and they discuss and agree that there will be an inquisition into the druids. Kiara, being an ex-druid, does not take this news very well, to say the least.
Flom, I do not like what these men are implying. Do not entertain this.
And by that I mean she goes and activates a sky beam from her magic rocks. Or she's possessed the king. Whatever will I do? I think I'll stick to my method of deflecting everything. End this. Whoops! Bit of a glitch there. I seem to have grabbed a ghost. And with one final burial, we end the Wrath of the Druids story. So for our Irish cleanup, we have 2 new mechanics introduced. One of these are the trade posts, which are small spots that we need to liberate from enemies and then upgrade so they can generate us free revenue in the form of various types of supplies. All of these supplies can then be used to upgrade our renown, similar to the way we would upgrade Ravensthorpe. Since they generate over time, I've been working on all these as soon as I arrived to avoid stuffing around, and now I have enough to upgrade to level 5. The second new thing are royal demands. These are small missions given at pigeon coops to retrieve loot or assassinate somebody. We need to do 10 of these, 6 of these are required for the story, so this is a very quick cleanup. Inside this church is the last snake in Ireland. Legend of St. Patrick. Oh, I guess he missed one. There's not as many Children of Danu as there are Order of the Ancients, and most of them I have killed off either as part of the story or just by coming across them while hunting for loot. The 3 that I have left are the Spider, the Blaze, and the Whisper. Do you think they name themselves? It's like in Reservoir Dogs, where everyone wants to be Mr. Black. I'm gonna call myself the Spider. Oh, you can't do that, Gary. I want to be the Spider. No, I'm the Spider. No, I want to be the Spider. Anyways, the Whisper was my final kill, and he didn't put up much of a fight. So from each of those, I got an Amber Shard, and I will return to Deirdre to give them back to her. And suddenly I wake up in another fucking Souls-like, apparently. But this actually might be my favourite monster boss of the whole game. He's creepy, and he's strong, but not strong enough to make me rage, so I really did like this. No trophy for killing him, it was just ending out a quest, and, you know, C completionist as mentioned earlier. All that's left now is to finish off the collectibles. There is one legendary animal in Ireland called Black Stout, and I got a sickle as a reward. Oh, I have 2 sickles now. I can equip them for another trophy. Yeah, double trouble. Didn't even need to use them. Doing the first Morrigan trial, which is a type of mystery, pops like a druid. More stone balancing bullshit. Why?
I just want to talk to him.
Dad, this is ridiculous!
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to shoot him. I just want to talk to him.
You can't shoot him!
Wait, what? What are you doing?
Killing Blood the Giant earns me the last piece I need for the Dublin armor set. And then doing this very last offering, I got Irish Legend. That is all of Ireland done, the very first DLC complete, with over 100 more collectibles added to the final tally, and only about half of the overall trophies done. Our next stop will take us over to France, where we meet Charles the Fat with the goal of preventing war, because France and England are always at war. Chucky here is not really interested in negotiations, but he does suggest that if Eivor helps get his wife back, maybe he'll reconsider? And by now you know the drill. We get his wife back to him, and wouldn't you know it, he does not reconsider. So with peace talks off the table, the Viking army lay siege to Paris.
The gates! The gates have fallen! The city is ours! Spare no one!
During the siege, we kill off or defeat several of Charles's important men, and suddenly he's in the mood for a deal. And you would think it would end there, except it's been too long since we've had a king go mad, and Charles might just be the maddest of all we've met so far. He's quite literally speaking in voices to himself. So I can't hurt him. Do I just get his stamina down?
Now's my chance.
Oh, okay, I throw him into the fire. Oh, he could put the fire out. No. That's better. With his enemies and allies all happy he's gone, that ends the Paris arc, and we sail all the way back to England to give our report on France. Before we have to do a quick U-turn and turn right back around to France because we have to gather everything. Luckily, France has the smallest number of collectibles, and our very first task is to go pat some cats. Thankfully, they are all kicking around the same block, but being cats, we will have to wait for them to wake up. The most time-consuming task to do in this DLC is the Rebel missions. These are similar to Royal Demands from Ireland. They are small tasks to complete, and we gain infamy. For doing 10 of these, we will get... ooh, Le Magesse. That was probably awful. We can replay the same ones over and over if one was so inclined. I did try to mix it up a bit, but I also did eliminate the exact same convoy several times. And to get infamy all the way to max level 4, we will need to complete 20 of these. Half of these so-called legendary animals are just overgrown livestock. Yeah, hunt you down. Don't try to heal. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Enough with the fucking rock stacking! Fucking hell!
I just want to talk to him.
Replacing the Lost Warriors from the base game are the 3 nobles that we will need to duel. I'm going to equip the Reaper set and kill one of them to knock out 2 trophies at the same time. So we're going to equip the Reaper set. Got to equip a scythe as well. Says 2-handed. Can I equip 2 scythes? Oh, double death. Oh, I like this. Come to my blades, hunter. Oh, oh, explosions. Oh, this is not the right fight for sides, is it?
You might be a king or a little street sweeper, but sooner or later you dance with the Reaper.
I think gravity did more damage, actually. Lastly, we need to enter the Paris Bureau by getting the 3 keys from excavation sites. And once we get inside, we get the last weapon, and that's everything collected in France. Rounding out the second DLC, I have somewhere in the vicinity of 940 collectibles. At this point, I'm almost curious to see if we can get to 1,000, because fuck it, I've come this bloody far. It would be a shame to get so close to such a big number and then just go, no, you're only going to do like 980 or something. That'd be just terrible. Phew! After all that jet-setting around, I think it's time to finally relax back home under Eivor's favourite tree. This sleep proves to be so deep that we are back as Harvey in the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC. Harvey and Frigg have travelled to Svartalfheim, searching for Balder. Wait, what happened to Balder? But did Balder die? I can't remember.
Sutter has our son. Fair Balder fall into treachery.
Ah, yes. It turned out that Surtur has kidnapped Balder and his Muspel army is invading Svartalfheim. But we get soundly defeated by him and left for dead for some reason, but not actually killed. I don't know. We are then nursed back to health by some friendly dwarves because this is the dwarf realm after all. And so our main missions here are to get back to Surtur and save Balder, but also help the dwarves fight back against the Muspel invasion. To help in this quest, the friendly dwarves have given us a new piece of gear called the Hugarip. This allows us to use various types of magics from enemies that give us temporary powers.
This is a mighty gift indeed. The bracer feels weak.
Nice, the floor is lava, but I am immune. Haha.
Take this all the same. It's silica.
The dwarves are giving me silica. Oh, thanks guys. Silica. Wow. Now I can, keep my food from getting soggy. Thanks. Eventually I head out to explore the realm and search for something to defeat Surtur and end up piss-farting around doing little missions helping dwarves. This new weapon, the Atgear, needs 30 kills, so I knock that out very quickly. I didn't even kill her with that. This time around I was collecting things as I went rather than saving it to the end, and I found all 4 of the dwarf shelters very quickly. And after many mini-adventures we learn about the Salakar relic and how badly Surtur wants it. In fact, he already has it technically, it's just in the possession of one of his guys, and Harvey decides to steal it from him and then trade it back to him for Balder. Naturally, it is incomplete, otherwise Surtur would probably have it already. So we're going to complete it by using it to suck the life essence from Malvagir. Sucks to be you. Now we can do a trade. For some reason, Harvey forgets that Jotun can shapeshift and gets completely blindsided by this. So we fight our way into the prison because we haven't fought our way into a stronghold for a while. In the prison, we find that Balder has passed, from this realm at least, and Harvey has such a mental break from this that it wakes Avar up from her spirit walk. But we go right back in to finally face Surtur.
Still drawing breath? I have a cure for that.
This is a crap fight. I get 2 or 3 hits on him and he backs off into the fire to do a shitty AoE attack. Bitch. Hahaha, death by arrow, you fucking pussy. And that ends another campaign. As I said before, I was collecting things as I was going this time around, so there is a much quicker cleanup. I got the very first and only accidental trophy that I have done, a picture of Grace for running through 30 breakable items. This is a base game trophy and somehow it took me this long to get. There are these Muspel monoliths floating around in the sky that we need to fly to. These require some ability upgrades before attempting, and we will need to visit all 9 to get all the materials they have on them, but only 1 is required for this first trophy. Once we have all the embers from all the monoliths, we can finally upgrade the Hooga Rip. And with everything upgraded, we can also attempt to teleport assassinate 2 enemies without being seen. The very last collectible for this realm was this Heroic Saga. For some reason the dwarves have this armor on display, so it must be important to them. Let's take it. This is kind of a shit set of armor in that it is cursed and slowly killing me, but I have all the Jotun relics, and when I install them it purifies the armor and pops another trophy. And the final trophy for this DLC is to go and visit Kara the Valkyrie and do one of these challenges with 4 boasts. It's an arena with waves of enemies, and the boasts which we have been picking up as collectibles act as handicaps, so doing one of these with 4 enabled gets us the last trophy for Dawn of Ragnarok. But we still aren't quite done with Harvey yet, as we are going to continue the search for Balder in Niflheim, because gods kinda died differently. This brings us to the Forgotten Saga DLC, and wouldn't you know it, they've made this area a roguelite. There are also 0, count them, 0 collectibles. And I'm fine with both of those things. I like a good roguelike, and I'm okay with not doing any collectibles for the time being, because not everything has to be a collection. So, the goal of Niflheim is to traverse the 4 different themed biomes while gathering various permanent and temporary upgrades along the way to Hel herself, who, as the guardian of this realm, is presumably holding Balder or whatever passes for him at the end. Due to the RNG nature of this style of gameplay, some runs are absolute dog shit, but that's okay because dying and returning to Odin's camp for the first time is a trophy.
You think you can keep me out? I pulled your realm out of Ymir's ass!
Yeah, you throw a shit fit, Harvey. Aside from starting pretty much from scratch and the occasional random item that I am not accustomed with, it's a perfectly serviceable roguelike. So I'm not going to go into deep detail here. Coming back to the second realm of Dockerland, I have helped the local dwarf with his side quest, and he has opened up all encounters for me here, and doing them all in one run unlocks another trophy. I need to use the Kick of Tyr ability to kick 10 enemies off a ledge. Luckily, it does not specify to kill them, but of course RNG means that I had to wait for it to become available. Come here, buddy. I'm gonna kick you. Come here. I'm gonna kick you. Nice! Ooh, 3 cups.
Which one shall I choose?
There's a spiky cup there. Let's go for the big one.
my loins. I feel refreshed.
Oh, we should bring that phrase back. Eventually I make it to the final realm of Nidheim, and even then I actually make it past all the enemies to meet Hell's Mage Domo. He's kicking around just before the final fight with Hell. And she brought her dog along for the fight too. Would you hold still, damn it? I don't have the health for this, or the weapon. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. Let's try this again. I completed each of the 3 side quests for the locals, or about as local as one can get in the realm of the dead. Oh, another... Would you fuck off? Bloody werewolves. I'll kill you first. What does that happen? Oh, that does something. Oh, that's all of them. Oh, nice. This time I made it to Hell and I actually mess her up because I am suitably powerful now. Yeah, so Balder has actually been fine the whole time. I mean, not fine, but he's dead and he doesn't want Harvey to find him. So every time Harvey reaches Balder, Balder wipes his memory of it, and so Harvey is stuck in this loop. I've pretty much maxed out everything, so they won't find me stuck in any fucking loop. Well, okay, there's still a couple of things left to do. So although I've beaten Hell once, I need to beat her again while wearing the Draugr's tall outfit. Its healing effects are shit, so I made sure to keep a pretty strong weapon. Oh, I am taking chunks off her. For the last run, I need to get to the 3rd boss of Nidhogg without using a shrine to heal. At this point, I am as strong as I can be. I've equipped the Einar Jar's Valor outfit for better healing, and I've bought all the favours from the shop to use on this run. That unlocks a favoured customer for buying each favour at least once. I've been reusing the same scythe for a few runs now. It gives me a smidge of health back on each kill, and I stick to lightning-based attacks because Nidhogg is weak to them. Focusing on getting as many health upgrades as possible in the early stages, it's only Nidheim that I'm concerned about, as these cultists can quickly turn the tide against me if I stuff around. But with good health and no need to put in the effort to upgrade anything else, I skipped a few encounters and went into Nidhogg with full health. How's about a nice gash to the bone, mate? You'll kick me, you scumbag. Not today. Anyone for dragon steak? Yeah, not too bad. And that ends our run in Niflheim and ends our time as Harvey. I think we've spent about as much time with him as I have with Eivor, and I actually did find him a fun character. And that also ends the story-based DLCs. It has been about 150 hours now. We are so close to being finished. I'm just going to go and check out this Meteor Crash site, and it looks like it has exposed a doorway to something. And there is a story related to all of this where old crone Hilderan just coincidentally happens to turn up at the same time to explain something about proving your worth to the gods, as if Eivor hasn't fucking done that already. Which means we need to do these mastery challenges to prove to the gods how good we are. I think the term we are looking for is absolute pish. Now these are functionally similar to the Predator challenges in an Arkham game, and they are suitably challenging? By that I mean they can range anywhere between have a gold medal on the house to haha loser, your life is a failure. And the main problem is because this is shoddy. Everything else in the game feels like it was made by the same person. This feels like it was made by someone else, and it feels cheap. It's glitchy, enemies can see through walls, guards spawn or despawn at random. I could go on, but I stopped recording this shit because it was so irritating, and by my loins was this even necessary at this point. Anyways, getting our first gold medal will pop a trophy. And getting all 15 gold medals will pop the next trophy. So, what happens when we get access to this temple? Well, it leads us to another cave with another door and another bunch of fucking trials. This is the second round of Mastery Challenges. 12 more gold medals, to be exact. They do change it up by having a multi-stage boss fight with Hildebrand in between, which is different, but it's nothing particularly special. This is why you don't trust little old ladies. But defeating her last trial will get us the final gold medal. Right, that should be all of them done. I feel like I have reached the crest of a roller coaster because from here on out it is all smooth sailing. The collectibles have dwindled into a small handful to go, but we also have a couple of miscellaneous traversal trophies just to knock out quickly as well. We need to pull off a 150-meter slide in the snow, and apparently there's only one place we can do it, so it's back to Norway for a moment. I haven't spent any time using a boat because why would I? So I haven't had the chance to smash 5 other boats in 2 minutes. Haha, screw you for trying to make a living. Right up in the very north of the map we have Hadrian's Wall, and we'll have to light all the braziers. I don't think that's going to keep the rabbits out, guys. Oh, nice throw. Oh shit, I thought that was a wolf. Sorry. Sorry. Was that 10? Okay. There are these bigger enemies called Goliaths that are just heavy enemies, and one of their attacks is to pick up and throw Eivor. Now, I have had this happen to me plenty. I've been thrown into walls and water and lava, but never have any of them yeeted me in excess of 30 meters. So we're going to use gravity to gain some distance for this next trophy. Oh, gotta catch my breath after that one. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's just internal bleeding. All right, I have been making you all wait far too long. Let's get to the collectibles.
Hey, my boy.
The legendary animals are first on the chopping block. I've killed off about half of them, mainly the latter game ones, as many of them that I faced early on were quite powerful. This bloody bear back in Jotunheim, like this is my first attempt when I first came across it. It was level 400. It took me about half an hour to just chip away at its health, but it finally beat me. And now, returning at power, this thing is still not a bloody pushover. A decent number of these beasts cheat by ganging up on me as a pack, but they are still no match for me and my slashing blender action. And once they are all dealt with, we will need to return their heads to the guys at camp. No trophy.
Must take my leave.
Am I missing one? Maybe.
Until next time.
Okay. Speaking of animals, let's do some fishing next. We need to catch one of each species of fish, of which there are 19 in total scattered across the map. So far I have caught about 15. I have no idea of when I did this, because I don't remember fishing all that much, but it was probably when I was doing the offering altars for the mystery collectibles. Now it seems that we are supposed to use a fishing line to catch them, and for most of these I've just used a bow, so I'm not sure how many of these count. And I can't find concrete proof because there seems to be conflicting reports on what works, so I guess we'll find out. Moment of truth on a salmon. Haha, nice! There we go, 100% proof that you don't have to be fair or sporting and just shoot them with a bow. In the artifacts branch of the collectibles, we have been gathering treasure maps. For 5 of these, any 5, we also need to find said treasure. It's like a Matryoshka doll in that we need to find one collectible to find another collectible. But since I grab anything not bolted down, I already had a few of these, so this one didn't take too long. Next up, I'm going to finish off all the Tombs of the Fallen. I have already done the first one earlier, so using the map in the cave of that first one, we can track down where the others are. I could play a whole game of this. Completing 3 of these tombs pops Cryptologist. And once we finish them all, we return to the first one and solve the tomb under that, and that is finally all the DLC trophies completed. At least the reward was a weapon and not another inanimate carbon rod or whatever. The Order of the Ancients. Their time has come. I've knocked off all the zealots, and apparently some of them drop stone tablets. Along with all the others I have gathered from the Treasures of Britain mysteries, I now have to do something with them, and I had honestly forgotten all about them. This is one of the very few things I had to look up, because there are no clues I could find that told me what to do with them, and my knowledge of ye olde English history isn't very strong. But I was directed to Merlin's cave, and we can place all the stones to unlock the sword in the stone.
The sword the Britons call Excalibur.
As for the rest of the Order, one of the targets is Gorm. Turns out he's over in Vinland, an entirely new area that I had no knowledge of. Alright, they're taking the piss. This is a whole new level. Are all the Order members going to have full side quest areas? Anyway, we reach Vinland, and the game thinks it's funny by taking away everything I have. All my weapons, my gear, supplies, everything. The idea being that before I face Gorm, I will need to gather stuff to trade for gear. Piss on that, I say. Instead, I grab the first club I can and bash my way into Gorm's camp and end him pretty quick. But since we're in another area, we still have to get all the collectibles, and luckily there are only 12 to pick up, including that last alpha animal. Oh, and I didn't need to return to the tannery to get that trophy. Nice. And one last can. As for the rest of the Order, they all go down easy. The Zealots were the only ones that really fought back. If you cast your mind way back earlier in the story, you may remember King Alfred, who ran from a fight and left us to kill off his minion. Turns out he was behind the Order the whole time, but was also the one sending Eivor the information about where to find them all, as a means of destroying them from within. So we don't need to kill him, as by now we have destroyed the Order entirely. We do need to return all the medallions taken from each of them back to Hytham, as the reward for that is Thor's cloak, which we will be needing very shortly. In fact, we're going to go and pick up the rest of Thor's armor right away, and that means taking down the last group to oppose me, the 3 Witches of Lyrien. Goneril sounds like a topical ointment. Is it cold in here? Alright, that's one done. As I stated very, very early on in the game, these witches crushed me at the beginning, but now, upon returning, I can stomp them down into the mud. That's 2. That's 3. Not only do I get the pieces of Thor's armor from them, but each of their swords acts as a key for the final piece, which is a helmet and another trophy. And with the full set complete, we will need to travel high into the mountains of Norway to find and equip Mjolnir. It is an okay weapon, but it is also completely pointless at this point of the game. There is now one more collectible to go. I am in downtown Jorvik. I have been here before, but the chest was locked. I'm hoping that I've found all the keys. It all comes down to this. It has been literally 1 month since I started. About 180 hours, give or take. Let's do this one last time. All that for a bar of tungsten. I'll try not to spend it all at once. And that's plat. And there it is. Assassin's Creed Valhalla completed and 100%. So what was the final tally? Well, you may have noticed that when I was recapping the figures, I was saying about this many or around this many collectibles instead of an actual definitive number. This is because of how and what exactly counts as a collectible. We could argue all day long what counts as what, but that would just be stupid, so this is just how I classified everything. So for the Platinum, we had to get the 784 collectibles tied to wealth, mystery and artifacts, the 45 members of the Order, the 19 different species of fish, 19 games of Orlog 1, 5 treasure hoards, and 2 legendary weapons, Excalibur and Mjolnir. For 100%, we will need to add on to that figure 179 wealth, mysteries and artifacts for Dawn of Ragnarok, 115 for Wrath of the Druids, 69 for the Siege of Paris, 10 members of the Children of Danu, 9 Muspel monoliths, 6 Tombs of the Fallen, 4 cats, and 1 snake. So if we add that on to the base game, that would be 1,277 collectibles. Oh, there's also the Isle of Skyark as well, which has no related trophies, but if one were so inclined, that would add an extra 17 to the total. But who would do such a thing? And you might think that a figure like that would break me, but it didn't really. It didn't even feel like I did that many collectibles, to be honest. Strangely enough, I wouldn't consider this a grind. I've done grinds, and this ain't even close. Maybe because there was always something else to do, it just never became a grind because it wasn't just doing one thing over and over. Everything is easy to find, it never takes long to get anything, and the time ratio is very efficient. Now, I do like collectibles, so I'm more predisposed to them than most, but this is still stupid overkill. The game did not need this many collectibles. The thing that most lets the game down, though, is simply that it is too damn long. Ignoring collectibles and DLC, there's just too much. If you took an axe to this game and removed half of it, it wouldn't make a difference. So while the collectibles didn't break me, the story was just kind of useless, and the cost of this game is just all of your time. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. If you have made it this far, or done this collection yourself, by my loins you've made it into the halls of Valhalla.
By my loins.
Thanks for watching and going on this journey. This one took a lot, not just playing it, but also editing it. Like and comment and all that jazz, and don't forget to always check behind the waterfall.